Harry, who did we get in the FA Cup 4th round, mate? Aston Villa. Hello? Oh, Pablo Hernandez. What can I do for you here, mate? You've decided to ignore interest from elsewhere and sign for the Premier League. Do you mean Leeds United? Of course you do, of course you do. Well, mate, this is fantastic news. We're very, very happy to have you staying. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Bill and welcome to episode 8 of the First Star Challenge with Leeds United, our bid to win the Champions League with the club for the first time. And today we have two big games. Well, a big game and a not so big game. A huge, huge FA Cup tie hosting Aston Villa in the 4th round. A bit of a tough one for me, that one, but we'll try and get the better of my boys. And then we are hosting Wigan in the league, and that is a game I am expecting to win. But the big news, since last episode, where it looked like Hernandez was leaving us, he's actually signed an extra year contract deal. You can see there, it's a little bit of extra money, but not too bad. I think he gets a pay rise if and when we get promoted, 30%. So he'll be on some change when we get up there. But yeah, really, really happy to have him for that extra season. I just think he has that little bit of an X factor about him that could make the difference if and when, as I said, we get to the Premier League. But a little bit to catch you up on since last episode, starting with our game in the Championship against Sheffield Wednesday. Patrick Bamford gave us the first half lead after some good work from Jack Clarke teed him up. Ben White's marauding run set up Shackleton to score our second. Before Jack Clarke's wayward shot deflected in off an unlucky Wednesday defender. So there we go, a dominant win against our Yorkshire rivals, Bamford, Shackleton, and the unlucky own goal. You've got to say, what a shank of a shot that was from Clarke. But you can see there, we absolutely smashed them, dominated the game, and a shot every 3 minutes we averaged. So they can have little complaints about being on the end of what should have been maybe a bit of a bigger hiding. Next up, we went and played QPR. We fell behind to a penalty, but that only served to anger us as we equalised moments later when Harrison teed up Bogac. And we had the lead within minutes when Pablo Hernandez played in Bamford. Harrison made it 3 goals in 6 minutes when Coyle picked him out unmarked at the back post. And we didn't let up in the second half. Left Davis adding a 4th goal 3 minutes in. Hernandez picked out Shackleton to make it 5 goals in 50 minutes. And Phillips made it 6 on the hour mark, finishing a good team move for the goal of the match. And the rout was completed with an own goal from a deflected McCalmont shot. I tell you what, I bet they wish they didn't score that first goal. What a performance, what a comeback. All they did was anger us. Bogac, Bamford, Harrison, Davis, Shackleton, Phillips, and of course the own goal at the end there, just to throw a bit of salt into those QPR wounds. An absolutely stunning performance from Leeds United. Really, really happy with that. I think it's has to be our biggest win of the season. I actually think it was a club record. Maybe probably just in-game rather than all-time. But yeah, what else can you say? Just a smashing performance down there in London. The final game to catch you up on was our game against Millwall. We fell behind for the second game in a row, but drew level in first half stoppage time when Nketiah picked out the late run of Bogac. We secured the 3 points late on when McCalmont picked out Alioski's run, who finished well from a tight angle. So there we go, we go 3 for 3 in between episodes. Bogac and Alioski with the goals. This was the most comfortable 2-1 win you will ever see. It should have been so much more. It was, in the end, we were kind of, you could argue, lucky to get the late goal there to win it for us. But a really good performance for sure. Look at that, 8 key passes, absolutely stunning in this game. A really, really good performance from him. Just a good performance all round. We'll have a quick look at what all that means for the league table. We are well clear now. 10 points clear of second place Cardiff. And what's that? Pushing up on 20-something points. Not quite. 17 points clear of Bristol City. I'm going to say it. We are going to get promoted this year. I'd like to think I've played this game enough to not allow complacency to set in and and have a complete stuff up here and not get promoted. So when that happens, you can clip this, play it back to me, and we can all laugh together as I shrivel into my seat in embarrassment. But yeah, we're going up, boys. I don't see a way how we're not going up this season. So there we go. Get your promotion parties planned. It will be happening hopefully sooner rather than later. Now, there is, of course, the ongoing transfer window. As things stand right now, we haven't made any signings. The main reason for that is basically I don't think we need to. Have we sent anybody out on loan? I don't think so. Oh, we did sell a young striker off to Montpellier. His contract was up. They offered him a contract. He accepted it. So we just got 14 grand for him. Sold him off. So that's fine. Actually, I think Boa left as well. He was never going to make it in any case. So there we go. We have lost a couple of guys, but no one major. Like I say, we haven't signed anybody. Jimmy Mass was the one guy we signed. Man, he's not coming on too badly. There could be a decent player there for us. We might even look to loan him out. I wonder if that might be something worth doing. Hamilton want him. Anyway, let's not dwell on this for too long. We do have the FA Cup tie coming up here against my boys Aston Villa. We're hosting, which is maybe gives us a bit more of a chance against a Premier League team. We can see we're the favourites. We're in excellent form. They are a Dean Smith coach team, an attacking, passing mentality. They are 12th in the Premier League, so they'd be pretty happy with that, I would imagine. Have a quick look. They got pretty much smashed last time out by Chelsea, but they were playing very, very defensive here. We're actually expecting them to play more like this, more like they did against Bournemouth. In which case we can kind of see a little bit high up the pitch, a little bit open at the back perhaps. Passing network there, everything goes through McGinn. He's number 7, I think, isn't he? So yeah, I mean, we just keep it tight in the middle and we should go okay. You can see their key passes that tend to be in to out, so that's something to keep in mind as well. And this is the team, we're really going for it. With promotion, as I said, essentially in the bag, we're putting our strongest team out in the FA Cup and really, really see how far we can go in this thing. So Casilla goes in goal, Douglas, Cooper, White and Ayling in the back 4. Phillips, Shackleton and Klitsch in midfield. Clark and Costa go down the wings. Costa back from injury. I think this is his first game back, actually. Bamford goes up top. We've got a pretty strong bench as well. As I said, it's all guns blazing on the FA Cup this year. So there we go. They are playing as expected. Grealish a little bit deeper with McGinn. They've got a new someone on the boo here. Stuart Armstrong, is it? Yep. So well done. They've got a new signing. There we go. All right, we have a new assistant manager too, Johnny Metgod. Reyes left. He went to become Wolves' new assistant manager, so we got in a new boy. And I think this guy's better, actually. I should try and remember to show you next time we have a chance. Aston Villa have lost 3 of their last 5 games. Let's pile on the misery. Go on, boys. It's always a tough one for me playing against Aston Villa, but we'll do our best here. And while we're waiting for the game to kick off here, a massive, massive thank you to a new Patreon supporter of mine, Gary Turpey. Thank you so, so much, mate. As I always say, Patreon support is not expected, but it's greatly appreciated. So thank you so much, mate, for that. There is a link down in my description if you want to check out the Patreon. These little sort of thank you perky things that you can get. Cross comes in, no, headed away. It's there for Clark. Clark, we know he loves to have him. Oh, he's hit the inside of the post, has he? Yeah, there's also the thank you perk things that you get for different levels of support. So if you want to check it out, there is a link down in the description. But like I say, it's not expected in any way. This will actually be a really good test for us, won't it? Against the Premier League team, they're sitting mid-table right now. So it'll give us an idea of what we can expect. We know we went to Old Trafford and gave them a real game, didn't we, in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal, I think it was. So yeah, this will be an interesting test as well now, hosting a mid-table team. And let's face it, this is the sort of team, I think, next season, the sort of game next season that we'd expect to win, wouldn't we, really? Or we'd certainly be hoping to win, if not expecting it. I'm wondering if we should be looking to defend a little bit more narrow here. I'm just a little bit concerned that they might... Ayling, turning circle of the Queen Mary there. Can he get back? It's a penalty, is it? Yes. Oh, Luke Ayling. I've been a little bit disappointed by him. I don't necessarily think who's taking it. Wesley's taking the penalty. Oh, straight at the keeper. Casilla makes the save. And Douglas clears it behind for the goal, the corner kick, I should say. Oh, it is a goal kick. Perfect. Even better. Ben White, he's lumped it forward there for Clark. Now, what can Clark do? Goes on a bit of a run. That's what he does. Can he find a pass here? He finds Shackleton. He does well. Back for Klitsch. He gets the overlapping run of Ayling. This is where he is strong. Back for Klitsch. We've seen him score a few already. Oh, it's there for Shackleton. Can he take a touch? He finds Klitsch again. Back out for Ayling. Ball to the back post. Helder Costa's there. What can he do? He can almost run it out of play. Turns. Cross. Shackleton. Have it made. Shackleton. Oh, what have we got to do to score a goal? Tom Heaton made a bit of a stunning save there, it looks like. But I think that hit the post perhaps. Anyway, that's twice we've gone within inches of opening the scoring here. Can we do it? Second ball in. It's back post. It's Cooper. Back in. Bamford. Is that another corner? Gilbert with the block. And we are peppering Aston Villa right now. Come on, boys. Cross in. Headed away. It's there for Jack Clark. Yeah, there we go. Is it going to be retrieved? It's the shot that almost goes out for a throw-in. McGinn into touch for the Leeds United line-out. And that is the end of the highlight. Come on, boys. Let's get creative here. This is, again, promising stuff. But we saw this against Man United too, didn't we? We've got to take advantage when we're on top and stick the ball in the net. Are we going to pay a price here if we're not doing that? It's headed away. Bamford's there. He can't win the header. Shackleton, though, he clears it. It's a bit of a hack, let's be honest. And now this starts to become a long highlight, a little bit scrappy. Can we win that ball? No, we cannot. Concert, what's he going to do? Plays it out wide there for Trezeguet. Can we get a tackle in here? Ayling again is just being caught out. Do we have another option at right back? I wonder. I'm trying to think who's on the bench. I think Berardi's on the bench. And Ayling again is just a little bit too slow. Wesley sticks it away. And despite, I think, being the better team, certainly having the better chances, I mean, they did miss a penalty. And now they've their first or second real attack, given apart from the one where they won the penalty. Ayling just doesn't look up to it, does he? Oh, it's a little bit unlucky. Wesley, it's gone off of... Is that Cooper? Yeah, gone off of Cooper and then past Casilla. So that's quite unlucky. Here we go. From the corner again. Can we tie things up? Oh, da Costa over the bar. Give it a show some passion maybe here coming to the break. What's happened there? We just come back for the Jack Clark shot to be flying over the bar. Ayling throws it in for Clark. He turns his man. He gets past it. Oh, he's so good, Jack Clark, isn't he? Here he goes again. Can he pick a pass this time? Will he go himself? He's gone to the edge of a penalty. Oh, no, McGinn's made a good tackle. But hasn't cleared it. Ayling finds Clark again. Back for Calvin Phillips. It's the first I think we've seen of him. Ayling back for Phillips. Is Villa sitting back here, inviting us on? Here we go with Clark. Is that a penalty? That is a penalty. That looked harsh. I've got to say, it's Klitsch to take it. Come on, mate. Come on. It's a good time to tie things up right before the break too, isn't it? Come on, Klitschy boy. It never looked like it, did it? It was straight at him. You could see it was going straight at him. Show some passion here, boys. It's not a game for penalties, this one, is it? Both teams have missed one, and a 45th minute, that is not a good time to be missing penalties. I think we've been okay, but we've been okay without actually being good, if that makes... Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, but... I think we've been sloppy. We've been sloppy with our finishing, and we've been a little bit sloppy in defence as well. Come on, boys. Demand more. Got work to do here defending the corner. It's... Oh, I tell you what. There was Mings and Wesley. They were both just left unmarked, and this is starting to get a little bit disappointing now, isn't it? All right, tell them to concentrate. Yeah... I mean, it's just disappointing, that, isn't it? We really... Alright, so we need to change things here, don't we? It's almost a carbon copy of the Manchester United game, isn't it? Where that it looked as though we were... Let's be a bit narrower here. Let's try and close them down as well. I thought we were looking okay. We've hit the inside of the post twice there. Helder Costa's picked up an injury, so I have to bring Alioski on for him. Oh, I'll be so disappointed to go out of the carpet like this. Shackleton, Klitsch is not having a good game. Do we bring Bogac on for Klitsch? I wonder. Let's do that. Alright, let's play him as an attacking midfielder. Let's advance playmaker on support, and then Calvin Phillips. We might even look to push everybody forward a little bit here, because we don't really have anything to lose, do we? We've got to try. It's a cup game. We've got to try and get back into it. Alright, let's see what this highlight brings. Oh, Phillips has been nicked off him, and that is straight to Casilla. This maybe does show that maybe we're a little bit too confident coming into it, but also perhaps we're not maybe as good as we think we are, or I think we are. I really thought we could get the result here, I'll be honest. So attacking midfielder, get Bogac forwards. We've got one more sub to make, don't we? I'm going to take Ayling off. I've been really disappointed with him this year, to the point where, yeah, maybe we might even look to sell him for next season. I did ship around Alioski. We weren't really getting too much for him. I think 6 million sort of with add-ons was the most we got offered, so I figured we'll just keep him. He's not that bad. He has popped up with a few goals lately. Yeah, so we'll hang on to him unless something big comes in. That we will finish the transfer window this episode. It's not obviously done right now. Here we go with Jack Clark. Can he get us back into this? Ball in back post. It's there, and Alioski. What was I saying about popping up with a few goals lately? This tie isn't done yet. It's 2-1, and let's keep going, boys. Let's keep going. Jack Clark, he does it again. If he's not scoring, he's assisting down the outside of his man. Great ball to the back post, and Alioski is where we want him, tapping it in. Excellent stuff. There's still 15 minutes to go. News of our demise was greatly overstated here, wasn't it? Come on, boys. Let's give it another get creative here when we can. We've been the better team. I still maintain that. We've just a couple of sloppy defensive moments. That's all the difference has been, I think. Can we close down the keeper? We were certainly going for it. This is good pressure, though. This is good pressure. Douglas wins the ball for Alioski. How's he going to make a difference off the bench? What's he got for us? Back for Douglas. Douglas, can he beat his man? He lumps it in. It's not the best ball, but it's going to be picked up by Clark. Can he pull it back? Oh, it's blocked. Is it still there for him? Yes, it is. Oh, he's everywhere. We all dream of a team of Jackie Clarks. Bogart! Was that the moment? Was that the moment? Come on, boys. Let's get creative here. Can we go and nick this late on? Or not nick it, but certainly get the tie anyway. Oh, I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, it's another game against a Premier League team where I honestly think we've been the better team there. A missed penalty, and we crash out. Oh, I really wanted to go on a cup run. I'm not happy with that, boys. There it is. Leeds United made to ruin missed chances. That was it, wasn't it? I'm lost for words. What do you say? It's just... It was like all we had really to play for this year, and yeah, that happened. Anyway, guys, wait right there. We'll be back to play Wigan in the league. Let's hope we put 7 past them as well. Okay, welcome back. The transfer window has closed. You can see it was a relatively quiet one. The most active team were Birmingham with 2 players. So it was a pretty quiet transfer window. We didn't actually end up doing anything. We did send a couple of youngsters out on loan. I'll show you that in just a second. We did, however, get a young player of the month. Up to, well, not quite a complete clean-up, but Bogac with 4 goals in 3 games was young player of the month. And Leif Davis was right there as well, who had a good month of January. So well done to those two. In terms of transfers in and out, we did send a couple of youngsters out on loan here. Niall Huggins went off to Exeter, so we'll get him back, let him go out there, play some football, let him come back and see what we think is going to become of him. And Zach Darnley as well, he's gone off to, where did he end up going to? Stevenage on loan. So we'll let them play some football and see how they get on and develop there. So that is that. Let's have a look at what we're expecting here against Wigan. You can see they're a decent team. They're mid-table. They're kind of not going to make the playoffs, so nothing really to play for, and they're relatively safe from relegation as well. So they're one of these teams that's already just kind of playing for next year. A little bit like ourselves, although we are hopefully playing for next year in the Premier League. You can see we are the favourites. Just that one blemish last time out against Villa. They're an adventurous passing style of football. This is how we're expecting them to play. We don't have too much else information there, unfortunately, but a passing team, we know roughly what they're going to do. This is the team we're sending out. Casilla goes in goal. Douglas, Cooper, White, and Coyle, he comes in for this one. I've lost faith in Ayling. I lost faith in Ayling, unfortunately. So Coyle's a good young player. He was out on loan for the first half of the year, so let's see how he does in the Leeds United team. Phillips, Shackleton, and Klitsch are in midfield. Clark and Costa continue out wide, with Bamford continuing up top. Let's hope we get some goals this time. So there we go. Everybody is playing as expected. I didn't want to change too much. I mean, we're kind of... What my plan here to do is... we need to keep our run going. Let's go with that. We are in a decent run of form in the league, so there's no point changing too much here. What I think I'll try and do is we'll try and seal up promotion sort of mathematically, and then we'll toy around with things, try and decide who we want to keep for next year, who we want to move on. The main reason I didn't sign anybody in the transfer window, we were kind of full up on loan players, so we didn't really have the option to loan anybody. I think we had £1 million on the transfer budget we could have spent, and I just basically thought, given where we are, I did have a go for a couple of guys whose contracts were expiring, and when we get hitting the break here, I tell you what, we were getting sort of outdone by sort of Bundesliga teams, things like that, offering sort of similar money or sort of giving the players what they wanted, but they were going to Bundesliga teams and sort of other teams in Europe. So I thought, you know what, let's save the money, wait till we get promoted, and then we'll sort of use our firepower. There's a good ball from Klitsch for Clark. Clark goes himself and whiffs it past the post. Yeah, I mean, as I said, we're going to get promoted this year. It was something that would have to go horribly, horribly wrong. So I didn't really see a sense in sort of buying someone for the sake of it. We can use the rest of this season to assess who we want to keep, who we want to let go. I mean, there's some no-brainers in there. Obviously, we know Hernandez is staying. Calvin Phillips, we know we want to keep. Here we go. Bamford, the goalkeeper, stayed on his line. And Patrick Bamford, what is he doing? Our shooting is letting us down this game. I mean, it wasn't horrible against Villa, but we did certainly miss a few chances, so the woodwork had something to do with that. Here we go with Clark. Lumps one back in. Oh, it's deflected off Helder Costa, and it's gone in. It's 1-0. And I don't know if that's luck or not, but Jack Clark, he's just launched one in from Huddersfield. It looked like it was a shot from way, way out. And Helder Costa's managed to find himself on the end of it. Okay, so it's hit the defender first, and then Helder Costa has slid in. So a lot of luck about it, but we'll take it. Our luck basically deserted us against Villa, so we've got some there. Again, we're dominating this game. Finishing isn't the best. We might look to do some maybe chance conversion. See if, or maybe some possession. Here we go with Klitsch in a bit of space. He finds Phillips, edge of the area for Shackleton. He goes for Helder Costa, and he's offside. Oh, almost doubling his tally. Helder Costa's not had a great season. He's looked good in patches. He's only just offside too, isn't he? He is definitely off, though. He's looked good in patches this year, Helder Costa, but a little bit like Alioski, actually. He's looked good in patches, and then other times he's looked like he doesn't know what a football is. But we know attribute-wise, he and Alioski are both good players, but we know especially Helder Costa is a good player, so he should be useful for us next season. That's straight into the arms of Casilla now. This is becoming a bit of a long old highlight here. What is going to become of this? Sensible, please, Casilla. Sensible. Rolls it out for Cooper. Go on, son. Out there for Douglas. We are being pressed here a little bit. We've lumped it forward. That's not really what was needed. Ball's been hacked back forward. Lowe has it. Oh, can we get the ball back here? I don't like where this is headed. Coyle with the tackle. It's a good tackle from Coyle. Second time of asking. It's in. Oh, and we've given up another goal. Again, a game that we've essentially dominated, and yeah, it's just not quite happening for us this episode, is it? Good tackle there from Coyle. We couldn't quite stop the second ball coming in. Cooper away. It's not the best header, is it? It's a bit too flat. And the Wigan striker is there just to whack it in. Alright, come on, boys. Let's get back into this. Well, not that we're out of it, and get back in front. Here we go with Coyle again for Phillips. Phillips, decent ball in. Oh, it's a stunning ball in. And Helder Costa, he can't miss. And it's a stunning ball from Calvin Phillips. That's why he's a no-brainer to stay for next season. We will be building a team around him, I think. Yeah, it's just a good little interplay there to get space for the cross. It's a wicked ball, isn't it? And Helder Costa in good position, can't miss. Not even he could miss that. Let's give them some praise. Let's try and settle them down here. We're looking a bit nervous and apprehensive. Now, can we get another goal here before the break? What we don't want to do is go in at 2-2. There's a good ball for the edge of the area. Shackleton! Oh! He hit the post against Villa too with a stunning effort. I think it was Shackleton in the first half against Villa, and that is so unlucky. He could have had an absolute worldie there. What do we say? It's got to be in a... you've played well. There's still room for improvement. Let's go with that, actually. We haven't been shocking. Cooper's got himself a booking, so don't you get yourself sent off there, mate. We'll tell the rest of the guys here at the back. We're not particularly happy with our defensive work. Let's be honest. It could be better. I think one decision we're going to have to make for next season is Casilla. Is he good enough to be our number one in the Premier League, or do we perhaps need to look at getting somebody else in? I think possibly for a first season up, he's probably good enough. But he's getting on a little bit too, isn't he? We'll have a look at his attributes in a second. He is getting on a little bit. I think he's 32, 33. So it's one of those where we will probably need to get a keeper in at some point. Maybe we could get a young, really high potential goalkeeper in and sort of look to progress him into the team as Casilla kind of fades away. Here we go. It's a good ball, almost a good ball by Shackleton, but we find ourselves on the end of a counter-attack here, even though Shackleton's done brilliantly there. What a player Shackleton is looking in this second half of the season. There's a good ball for Jack Clark. Jack Clark! He puts it past the post because, let's face it, that's what he does half the time. We've come back for another highlight. If we can get another goal, I dare say we could run away with it in the second half. But as things there, Shackleton again for Clark. Pull it back, Clark. He goes himself, and again, it's into the side netting. Come on, boys, demand more. If we look at Casilla here, he's 33. He's probably good enough for a first season, but I don't think he's not... Well, I mean, at 33, you're not going to rely on him for too long anyway. What he does do, and we've seen it this season, is he does play out from the back quite well, and he's solid enough. So I don't necessarily think it's something we need to do urgently. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of time. I'm just curious what you guys would think. We do need centre-backs. I think we should persist with this formation next season. What I might look to do once we again have everything sealed up is maybe look at playing sort of a 2 up front formation. But then again, we're not going to have Nketiah next season necessarily. Hopefully we can try and get him back. There's a good ball. Bamford's onto it. Can Paddy Bamford do it again? No, he misses again. I tell you what, we've missed some chances this game, haven't we? Let's give it maybe a calm, no pressure here, boys. Just a no pressure. Just relax. We are creating ourselves a buttload of chances, and we can't take any of them. Helder Costa's run into trouble there. Can he win it back, though? No. And keep putting pressure on them here, boys. They've gone over the top. It's Cooper's just got to let it drift over him. Casilla's there, and again, we're riding our luck. A game that we really, really should just be absolutely done and clear. Klitsch is having a bad game. Let's bring McCalmont on for him. Actually, no. Let's bring Forshaw on for him, and let's switch those two around. Defensive midfielder, box to box, and Shackleton as advanced playmaker. Get forward, mate. Go spoil yourself. I tell you what, let's take Bamford off for Nketiah as well. Bamford's not had a great game. We'll give it a show some passion next chance we get here. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we could get this third goal. I've got to be honest, as things stand now, you just kind of worry that we're going to have a little defensive lapse moment and find ourselves at 2-2. That's been well read by Douglas. Out there for Helder Costa. Is this a chance to get them on the break? They've got men back quickly. We've found Jack Clark. No, we haven't. We've looked for Jack Clark. We haven't found him, though. And again, we're riding our luck. Can Casilla? No, he can't. And it's 2-2. And like I said, it's a game that we should be winning. And we should be winning very, very comfortably. And a little bit like the Villa game. Yeah, just defensively, we've been caught out again. Maybe we're a little bit too high up the pitch. They're a passing team, though, so it shouldn't be a problem. Can we go and win this game for what it would be a third time? We've been in front twice. Can we get in front for a third time? Nketiah now. There's a good ball for Phillips. Phillips there for Nketiah again. Nketiah works his way through. He cannot quite find a finish. Helder Costa has it, though. Back for Douglas. That was not the best pass, to be honest, but Douglas has done well. Gets the cross in. Back post, and Nketiah is there. It's going to be picked up by Coyle. Coyle for Phillips! Oh, the keeper makes the save. Come on, boys. Come on. From the corner again. It's away. It's White. Oh, it's blocked on the way through. Clark's going to retrieve. There's still 7 minutes to go. Plenty of time if we're good enough. And Clark gets the ball tackled away from him. And yeah, here we go again. Douglas now with a free kick. That looks decent. It's headed away. And Nketiah is there. And Nketiah's looked a lot better since he's come on, hasn't he? He's looked a lot brighter. It's blocked. Douglas is there. Wrong side for him. He just drills one in. Away. Go on, Douglas. What's he got? He gets tackled away. Oh, if we lose this game, honestly, maybe promotion isn't in the bag. Oh, Douglas. That was very, very, very naughty. It's been that sort of game, hasn't it? I'm not surprised that frustration has boiled over, if I'm completely honest. What do we do here? Let's take... Who do we take off? Let's just take Shackleton off. We'll stick Dallas back there at left back. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it really is just a case of just trying to hold on for the point now, isn't it? It's been a frustrating episode. It's been a frustrating game. And I think Douglas has just pretty much summed up how I feel with that two-footed lunge. This episode should be called Two-Footed Lunge, shouldn't it? It's just been building towards that. That wasn't good enough, boys. But we did avoid defeat, I guess, so that's something. We can only... It's probably worth more than half a week's wages. He's going to get an extra ban for that, I'm almost positive. Helder Costa, take the positives. He got 2 goals. That's good to see him getting goals again. Wilder, who's he looking at? Patrick Bamford. Sheffield United and Wolves seem to want all our players. Douglas, yeah, you should be accepting that fine, mate. You should be accepting your assault charge when it comes in the mail as well, I would expect. Quick glance at the league table. We've not lost points to Cardiff. They must have drawn as well. So there we go. They got a 0-0 against Reading. So we're still in a really good position. I mean, look at where we are. We're still going to get promoted, but that's just been a bit of a frustrating episode. Let's face it. But there we go. That is it for today. If you have enjoyed that for some reason, guys, do hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll be back. I think we'll come back end of the month, end of February, for Hull City and Huddersfield. We've got 3 Yorkshire derbies in a row there, but we'll come back. Or do we want to come back for Cardiff because they're second? That's probably, I mean, that could be essentially a title decider. So let's do that. I'll play through the rest of February. We'll come back for Huddersfield and Cardiff. That's for tomorrow, guys. Until then, Open Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.